Welcome to the TBFC Charon Gunboating for Dummies, where we'll tell you everything you need to know to get ready to start sinking some wardens. Chapter 5: Intel and QRF. In the world of gunboating, intel is king. Knowing where your enemy is at all times, knowing where they're going, what vessel they're driving, it all goes together and helps us build a QRF. We get most of our kills at TBFC by using intel and knowing what's out there, where they are, so that we can get the surprise on them. Because we have the slower gunboat, we cannot afford to just drive up and patrol all day looking for targets. So we do a lot of QRF and it works pretty damn well. In order to QRF, you need to have a QRF dock. You need to have ships ready, loaded, and ready to go, and it helps by having the right bunker tech. So there's lots of videos out there, so I'm not going to go into that, but effectively once you have enough places you can actually deploy on your bunker, which is great. So our bunkers are next to the sea or next to our docks, where we can just spawn in from the main map, jump in a boat, and we can be out there in less than a minute. This particular QRF dock is maintained by the 340th Regiment, which are a great bunch of guys that are really into naval, so check them out, join them, play with them. But these guys provide this QRF dock every war to stop your boats getting stolen by enemy partisans. They need to be built under a coastal gun. Now that won't stop them completely, which is why you'll need to build bunker defenses as well, but that should be the #1 priority when building a QRF dock. Is it needs to be within the coastal gun range. Now your QRF dock might not even need a dock. It could be a shipyard. It could be right next to a safe house. You know, in this example, the wardens like to use it in Conclave, where they use the safe house. They put things into the shipping container and they pull the mortars out from the shipping container into the gunboat. So the idea is just everything is fast, everything's ready to go at a moment's notice. The 40th dock is pretty advanced, so we have a dock platform here where the naval dock is being built. That takes 50 metal beams to build, and you can build that out from a piece of landmass. They've also have bunker defenses around to stop partisans just coming in and taking it, and it's all under the protection of the coastal gun. And it's close to the seaport, so you can pull new gunboats from the seaport, bring them here, arm them, refuel them, and they're ready to go. So again, all about speed, all about efficiency, and all about getting out there on the water to contest enemy gunboats. Now, we talked about earlier that intel is key, and one of the most key pieces of equipment that you can carry on your person is a radio. Now, for those of you not familiar with radios basically give you the intel on the map from our watchtowers, from our observation bunkers, from obs towers that look into the sea. So all of that will give information and updates almost every couple of seconds. So if you have that, you will be able to see enemies in your hex if they are under intel, unless they are wearing scout uniforms, which we'll get into. So you can see as I'm driving, the intel is updating every so often, and it's showing me as a dot and also a triangle, which means I'm in a vehicle, but I'm also one person. So as you move through the map, you'll be able to see that it still tracks me. Now, I am wearing a captain's uniform currently, so that means I'm always going to be showing an intel. So if you and your boys are in a ship together, you're all going to show as dots on the ship, and that it gives a signature to the enemy to know what type of ship that you are in. Now here I change to the recon uniform and I open up the map, and then you'll see that the dot disappears. Now that means I just look like a stationary vehicle and I do not look like a person anymore. So if you were just glancing at the map, you might just think, oh, that's just a boat just there, it's always been there. But if that dot shows there, you know there's a guy there, there's a person there that needs to be dealt with in your waters. So this is why it's important to wear scout uniforms over other uniforms that may give better utility, but the enemy not knowing you're there is more valuable than you being known. So here's a good example of partisans that have just landed on the beach. They don't show as dots yet, but they will show eventually because they have scout uniforms on. So they always have a chance of being detected. So again, they'll be there. Now they're showing as red on my map because I have a mod, but they'll be blue on your map. So with that information, I was able to go out and investigate on my motorboat with binoculars, and I can see that it's an enemy APC. Now, I can't see at night how many people are in the APC, but I can see that they are an APC. And I think they saw me at this point, so they were trying to drive towards me. Luckily for me, these wardens aim like stormtroopers. Okay, so now we're going to get into recognizing intel signatures. So a large ship will usually be two dots, two blue dots there in a rectangle. Dots are people, and then you have triangles, which are some type of ship. You don't know if there's people on it or not unless the dots start flashing up. So green is friendly, blue is enemy, and that's kind of how you'll recognize it. A warden gunboat will look like 3, 4, 5 people all in a straight line. So this is the way you know it is an enemy gunboat, is by having them all in a line like this. Now, if they're wearing scout uniforms, they might not pop all in a line, but eventually they will show on intel and you'll be able to detect what they are. So that will give you the intel to know what is the strength of the force that you're going up against to QRF. Next, we're going to get into the listening kits. Now, these are things that can capture enemy intel when they're deployed within 80 meters. So you would want to take a tripod and you want a listening kit. So here you can see that I'm taking the tripod. I'm going to press B to deploy. And then once it's deployed, I can go and get the second part, which is the listening kit itself. So I'll then take this and put that on top of the tripod and left clicking it on when it's yellow, and there we go. So that would be giving intel within 80 meters of a watchtower, ops bunker, all that stuff. So this is very important and a very important job for naval. Being able to know where your enemy is, where they're coming from, using their own intelligence against them so that you know when they're leaving is huge. So that will allow you to QRF effectively. Now, the downside of this is that the enemy can also place listening kits. So this is where you need to run counterintelligence on the usual spots. Sometimes these guys get really creative, putting them on oil platforms, putting them on rocks, everything. So you really need to be careful. Now, you can listen and it will make a noise. So that noise will be detectable up to 10 meters around the listening kit. And it's kind of like a Morse code beeping sound. So if you find an enemy listening kit, you can take it down and then put it back up, and it would be using your intel as well. But you can't use a listening kit on your own intel, just enemy intel. But if they've put it in a place where a large ship may pass, a large ship will actually give intel and expose itself. So this is why putting them on offshore platforms is quite a useful tactic, or putting them on rocks in the middle of nowhere, because when that large ship passes by, it will be giving intel. And that is usually enough for us to amass a QRF response to that large ship. So you could interact with the pressing E to the listening kit, press the deploy button, and then there you go. You're off is into two parts again, and then you can either put them back up or take them home or put them in a motorboat. So here's a little pro tip for you. You can build a motorboat on the side of a seaport, which means you can get B-mats from the seaport, hopefully, and petrol probably nearby, or fuel. So then you just build it like I did there. Build it a little bit off to the side, because otherwise it might just end up straight on the platform and you'll be stuck. So you build it off to the side, you'll be able to kind of escape on it and be on your merry way. So the motorboat has two compartments. So here you can see I'm grabbing the tripod, I'm grabbing the listening kit and taking it back to my motorboat, and I can go out and start putting up listening kits. Now there is a bit of science to putting up listening kits. You don't want them to be too easy to be found. So in the purposes of this video, I just put them in the first place I can find, but get creative, guys, use your imagination, start putting them places that are really hard to get to, that makes it really hard for the enemy to do anything about. So here you can see I found a nice rock that I want to place the listening kit on. I grab the tripod first, then I grab the listening kit, I place it on top. When doing this, you want to be fast, because the longer you spend there, the more time that you're going to show on intel, and somebody's going to know what you're up to and come and take it down. So if you're in and out before anyone sees you, they won't even know. So here's a little before and after. I just open up the radio, the map, and bang. Look how much intel we've got now. So if you only have, let's say, 10, 30 minutes to play this game, that's one massive thing that you could be doing for your faction, is putting up listening kits and taking them down. And it's quite relaxing, actually. So I tend to do it for our faction. The last thing I want to cover here is coastal gun. So I actually have a mod installed that alters the map slightly, and I'll put it in the description. But this has a line around where the coastal gun will shoot. So as you can see in the mini-map down on the bottom left, as a driver, and this works on gunboats as well, is you will be able to know how close can you get without being shot by the coastal gun. So the coastal gun is like an AI which will try and keep everyone out of that zone, just to stop everyone cheesing the islands or bases, that sort of thing. So on here you can see that I am flirting the coastal gun, and it's only when I start to go in the dotted line, if I go in too much, the AI will lock onto me and fire kind of warning shots. So you might see these here. If I go past the solid line, then the AI is going to be shooting on my head every shot. So you can think of them as warning shots. With the map mod, you could actually use this as a valid gunboat tactic to lure your enemy into the coastal gun if they are not aware of it. But any decent player will have this mod, so they'll do it. So you can see that I'm following the gunboat in, and I can use this coastal gun against itself. See that? It's starting to hit their boat. Now, if we stayed in the same position, arguably it would have killed it, the gunboat.
That's funny as shit. Friendly fire coastal gun.
-1 gunboat to enemy coastal gun.
Friendly fire incident. I don't see this iron ship though.
Ah! I'm dead. Adjust right 10. Adjust right 10. Give me azimuth 56. Start backing up. Start backing up. They're gonna die to coastal gun.
Vader, move forward. Vader, get out of here.
No, that was our boat. Jesus Christ. Shoot, shoot. Just keep backing up. Back up, drive back. They're coming. They're dying to coastal gun. Keep going.
That was our boat.
Yes, that was our boat.
Yes.
The enemy gunboat is on our left-hand side. Start turning us forward and to the left. Yep, they're disabled. They're dead. They died. Okay, freighter, you can go now. You can go. So that ends chapter 5, Intel and QRF. So I hope you enjoyed the video, you've learned something, and yep, let us know in the comments below what you want to know more about, or if you're enjoying this series. And remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
From coast to coast we boast these kills so many. Wardens can't stop us, they sunk already. QRF 911 Davy Jones hotline is busy. No more games, I'ma change what you call rage. I was playing in the beginning, the mood don't change when you try to crew us. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow wardens away while they cry, hey, hey. Clear comms, we crossing the border now, guns. 1 minute, get ready, the black flag is coming. Clear comm, TBFC, 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 TBFC. So let's get back to this moment, you own it, you better never let it go. This opportunity comes once in